So welcome to Young Americans Abroad, our weekly soccer report. My name's Austin Van Churen.
And my name's Patrick Ferry.
And welcome to our show. Caw-caw! So we're back this week. We took last week off. We had a lot going on. I know, Patrick, you were sick. I had a lot going on with work. So unfortunately, we couldn't post last week, but we're back here. We've got a big week to talk about. A lot of good performances from younger American players abroad.
So maybe it's better we took a little time off,
Yeah, it's always good, take a little break and come back.
Exactly.
So we're also happy today too because you can see kind of behind us the Eagles.
I'm an Eagle fan. He's not.
But, I'm not an Eagles fan, but we live around the Philly area.
We finally got one.
Yeah, the tri-state area. So we're pretty excited today. So let's get into it. The first player we want to talk about this week is Cameron Carter-Vickers. So Pat, what did CCV do this weekend?
Yeah, so CCV had a great game for Ipswich Town.
Okay.
I want to go into a little more about that.
Yeah, so I think we touched on it last episode, but basically Cameron Carter-Vickers came back from Sheffield United, and then Tottenham loaned him out to Ipswich Town about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. So
yeah, he had a rough outing there at the end.
Yeah, he didn't play too much at Sheffield United towards the end of that spell there.
But this is a great sign that he's just eased his way into the starting 11 there. Him and his center back partner, Chambers, both were named to Team of the Week for the championship. So, with a 2-0 performance against, underperforming Sunderland team, but just to see him really, put in a good 90-minute shift, win a lot of aerial duels and, good marking, things like that. So I think it's pretty exciting to see, Austin, what we're going to have in the future with CCV.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's promising stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But moving on to another league and another center back. Do you want to go more into it?
Yeah, so Matt Miazga actually scored a goal this weekend. So instead of the antics that he did 2 weeks ago.
Clean game.
Yeah, he had a clean game. He actually helped the team win. So he scored a goal in the 6th minute in Vitesse's 2-0 win over FC Groningen. It was just, crossed into the box. Miazga headed it down into the goal and gave Vitesse that early 1-0 lead. And then later in the game, I believe it was Mason Mount, an English player, scored their second goal. But
yeah,
looks like Matt Miazga's doing well for Vitesse recently. I know after he scored the goal, his teammates ran up to him and were super happy, super
That's good to
into
see.
it with
That's
him.
good to see.
Yeah, it seems like that team is very cohesive just from the highlights I've watched, the past few weeks. It just seems like Matt's kind of really integrated into them, or into that team, which is good for an American.
Amazing, especially, American abroad, a life of Aloni and Chelsea.
Yeah.
So.
A bunch of them there, so he's not alone, I guess.
So maybe that's what they have in common.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see. He always does to seem gets himself into good positions, going forward and scoring great headers for the the U.S. that one game where he came in the Gold Cup, even for just now recently. So it was exciting just to see what he can do, and hopefully he could be a center back.
He's the future at center back. So. Him and John Anthony Brooks, hopefully they can create a good partnership in the near future. Maybe CCV comes back too. But so the next center back we want to move on to is Erik Palmer-Brown. So we finally know where he's going to be playing in the spring this season. So
this is great. Yeah.
Pat, do you want to tell us a little more?
I would love to tell everyone a little more, and I hope I'm getting this right. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Tough name.
KV Kortic.
Korčić, yeah.
Anyway,
I can't pronounce it.
Can't pronounce it, but it's a great. I think it's a great loan move going to the the Belgian league there, where a lot of young talent can really develop, and
it's a good league.
It's a good league, and they're a mid-table team. I believe they were either 7th or 8th when we were checking there before.
Yeah, I think they're 8th in the table right now.
So in my opinion, I think that's good because it's not like you're in relegation zone where they really need to stick with this lineup and get those results, or you're not battling for a place in Europe, which would be ideal, but it seems like they're in that kind of middle ground and can really try some players out. And
And I heard, not exactly sure how accurate this is, so take it with a grain of salt, but I think there's only 3 other center backs on that roster that he's competing with, so
oh, wow.
the fact that he only has to compete with 3 other people for 2 spots is a good thing. Obviously, you want competition, kind of like what you alluded to, but
yeah, absolutely.
The fact that, you know, he's moving abroad, it's a big transition, even though he has played abroad before, that eases the pressure just a little bit and helps him hopefully, you know, integrate into that squad quicker and be a player that, you know, Korchik, however you want to pronounce it, can use.
But yeah, even you know, Man City didn't announce that signing, which is you know, kind of weird, but you know, they somehow bring up mixed Diskerud, which is strange. But
yeah. Well, I guess Man City never really announced that it was Umbro.
That's true.
But the fact that he was announced to be signing with Man City kind of shocks me a little bit over Erik Palmer-Brown.
Absolutely, but EPB, we're really excited to see.
Yeah.
He did so well, you know, before.
That's true. The U20 World
Cup.
The
U20 World Cup there.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's just so exciting to see all these, you know, few of these center backs that could really take over, and
it's a position of strength.
It's a position of strength.
And, you know, we're excited about who we have, and hopefully Justin Glad maybe can make his way in the future.
Yeah, he's another interesting player. But
so we're excited for EPB.
EPB.
So the next player I guess we could go into now is Anthony Robinson. So I know you've been kind of watching his play recently, Pat. So you want to tell us what happened this weekend with him?
Yeah, sure. So you know, Anthony Robinson, you know, he had a pretty good game. He had an assist. You know, it wasn't the greatest. It was kind of almost like a little cross in, kind of outside the 18, more on the flank there, but it
like a lob.
Yeah, a little lob, pretty much a lob pass. But you know, finished it. They got the goal there. They got the win.
It was on like a breakaway, right?
Yeah. It was on a breakaway there. So you know, it wasn't. It was actually in his own box. So like they're defending.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So yeah, the breakaway.
Yeah. So it's like after the opposing team's corner or something.
Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, he seems to be, you know, from, you know, what I've watched the few games and few highlights, he's, you know, pretty pacey. So hopefully. Pretty pacey guy. He's, you know, consistently starting, getting some assists, making an impact. Yeah, that's what I think. I think he could really, you know, make a move, contribute, and hopefully, you know, push for the U.S. and maybe, you know, during this time transition, get him in there. You know, see what he can.
Hey, I'm down for that. The more defenders and specifically left backs we can find.
That's a pivotal position there. So hopefully they can kind of figure that out. But moving on to you know, another back there on the other side.
DeAndre Yedlin.
DeAndre Yedlin for a little Newcastle there. You know, he had a you know, mixed reviews, but he was going against Wilfried Zaha, who
he's a good player.
He's a good player
this year at times. So
so
it's a tough matchup, but
so it was a tough game against Crystal Palace there. Split the points evenly. But Yedlin looked, again, like we have been kind of noting, you know, 1v1 defending a little sketchy at times, especially against someone with a little more pace. But at the same time, if he does get beat, he's very good at tracking back and would.
That's his game.
You know, that's exactly his game. So he would.
All about pace.
Yeah, you know, he hung on there, and even though I don't even know if Rafa Benitez is too much of a fan. I know we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. Well, at least he started, right? He went the full 90.
He did start. He went the full 90.
I didn't catch that game this weekend. I was busy Sunday morning, but
sure, there's a little better thing to do than watch Newcastle.
Well, that's fair, but I want to see our boy. You know?
Yeah, you got to see our boy, but you know, I mean, still, DeAndre Yedlin has, you know, solidified his team, or you know, Newcastle and his spot on the team. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, he can just continue to progress and develop for Newcastle. Yeah,
so that's positive, at least kind of positive.
It's kind of a positive.
We'll see. They're not doing so hot.
No, they're not.
Team.
They're not.
But, you know, we didn't expect much better from Newcastle at the beginning of the season either.
Exactly. But Austin, I know you were high on this other guy here on the outside.
So we want to move over to Denmark now and talk about, you know, the young prodigy that some people are really excited about. We're excited about as well. And that's Jonathan Amon. So over the past 2 weeks or week and a half or so, he's played in 2 friendlies. The first friendly he played in was against a Chinese side. I can't exactly remember the name. It was a very random name. but he ended up playing in that game, and I think he started as well.
Okay.
But he had a nice back heel assist for their second goal, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was a nice highlight to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was a good play, good find by him. And then he played again later in the week, and I know for a fact he started that game. And it was against CSK Moscow, a team that's currently quality. In the Europa League, round of 32. So that's pretty promising stuff. He didn't really do anything amazing in that game, but just the fact that he's starting for Nordjylland.
It's a pretty top team there, right?
Yeah, they're doing well. They have an exciting squad. They hope to do well this season, and it'll be exciting to watch them play in some more regular season games coming up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And what would you kind of say, maybe one or two of the biggest strengths or qualities you see in Jonathan there? Yeah, because I've been seeing so many, big reviews, and just for our viewers here, I'd love, to share a little bit more about some insight on Amon there.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I think it's well documented. His biggest asset is his pace. He's a very, very quick player. He likes to get around players, just using that pace, not even so much dribbling and using dribble moves to get around players. He likes to just kind of dink the ball past players and run by them, basically.
Oh, cool.
But he also has a little bit of skill. It's not all just pace. So I think on his goal 2 weeks ago in one of the friendlies, he actually kind of took a step over into the box and scored with his right foot. So it kind of showcased his skill a little bit. Yeah, it was a really nice goal. So we'll see. I don't think he's super technical. I think, kind of like I've been alluding to, he's mostly pace, and he's still trying to figure out the rest of his game. But we've seen, I think he's got some unreal speed. I think
exciting. I want to catch some of those Nordjylland games.
Yeah, we're gonna try to find some streams hopefully later on in the year and check them out some more. But yeah, that's all for right now from Jonathan Amon. Now we want to move on to another youngster that everyone's excited about, Keaton Parks. So how did Keaton Parks do this past few weeks?
So Keaton Parks has been putting up really good numbers for Benfica B there.
True.
So hopefully, he has been named to the squad a few times,
that's right.
The senior squad, but they've been dropping him to B, and he's been starting, and he's been has a goal and 3 assists in his last 4 games, and he got a little revenge on his old club there.
Yeah, that's right. Vazrim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something with a V.
Yeah.
But so he's been really impressing. Looks really dominant in the midfield there. Just making powerful runs, and his vision seems great. Way too intelligent for someone playing for the B team.
You think?
In my opinion, I think at 20 years old, I think this preseason coming up, he's going to be crucial.
Kind of getting older. Yeah,
he's getting older.
Even though he's broken out kind of later on in his young career, but
but it'll be exciting to hopefully he can really solidify his spot. He's in the coach's mind if he's being called up a few times and putting up these great numbers and getting the results, and hopefully either he can break into Benfica or they look at him highly enough to bring him out on loan somewhere. I don't know off the top of my head where he would particularly go, but I'd love to see him, especially once he gets to 21 age, around that 21, to really start to solidify his spot as a starting first team player. I
think he should be a bigger part of the first team towards the end of the season. Let's hope, and then hopefully next year they'll integrate him into the first team if everything goes well. But yeah, it's if he waits a little longer, or if he doesn't get into that first team in maybe another by this time next year, I guess I'm trying to say then it might be a little concerning. But he's doing well right now. We're excited about his progression and his stats, past few games here at Benfica B. So that's some exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is exciting stuff.
So now do we want to move on to, I guess, another player in the Belgian league? That's Kenny Saif.
Yeah, he's been...
So how has he done recently?
He's been another... this has been a really good past week or two for American players, and Saif has just been adding on to that. It's funny, the last 3 games that Anderlecht has played have been draws. But Saif has done really well. He played 90 minutes recently in this 2-2 draw. But But then even before the past 2 games, when we were sick and we couldn't cover it, but Saif had a nice goal, and then he unfortunately missed a penalty there towards the end.
That's right.
So that was a little brutal there, but overall he still had a really good game, made a huge impact. And then the game after that, so just last weekend, he got a nice assist there. So
yeah, that was that cross-field kind of diagonal ball over the top to
exactly.
the striker. I think it was on Twitter. We saw it. It looked like a really nice ball.
It did look like a nice ball. So, and the coach, I guess he's worked with the coach in the past, so that's great. He knows the system a little bit there. And what it seems like Saif has is not so much that speed, but just really good vision. He seems to be linking well with his Anderlecht teammates so early on.
That's always good.
It's always good to have someone like that could potentially come into the U.S. fold and put some passes together and link between the strikers and mid. That's really crucial. And that's what we need.
Yeah, could always use players like that.
So I think Kenny Saif's doing good. But you want to talk about someone else in the Bundesliga?
Yeah, someone who's not doing so good. And that would be Bobby Wood for Hamburg. So he played, I believe, 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw against Hanover. Had a lot of chances that he could have finished, a good 3 or 4, crosses into the box or just passes in that he should have done better with, but he just didn't finish them.
That sounds like a summarization of Bobby Wood's recent performances. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Like his whole season.
Yeah,
pretty much. But yeah, it's just not encouraging. Obviously, with the new coach, that was, I think, his second game with Bernd Hallerbeck. So, I mean, it's not encouraging, but hopefully he'll turn it around here or something.
I hope he does too, because for his time with the U.S., he's looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's been good.
Team.
I mean, maybe not so much recently with the national team, but who has been? I mean,
that's fair.
Hasn't been the best of performances for anyone with the national team. But just another hard week for Bobby Wood. So it's just something to continue to monitor. Hopefully he'll just break out of this funk sometime soon.
I hope
Maybe
so too.
just scoring a goal will ignite him again and kickstart his season.
Just needs some confidence again.
Yeah, he needs confidence, and Hamburg's pulling out some results here recently.
Yeah, they are.
They've gotten some points from games, and obviously they're in the relegation zone or battling against relegation. So if he does light on fire, he could become a hero at Hamburg and be the guy that they rally around, and everything will be good again. But
we'll find out.
It hasn't been the case yet. So we'll keep monitoring it and keep giving you guys updates, and hopefully there's something good to report here in the next few weeks.
Another player that made a big move.
Surprising move.
Surprising move.
Maybe he's not the brightest prospect anymore, but that would be Rubio Rubin. So obviously he was on that January camp roster. Got, I believe, like 7 minutes at the end of that game.
That was great for him to even get that chance. Like I think there was somewhere in an interview that he was saying like how kind of like not startled. It might not be the right word, but he was really surprised and grateful for the opportunity and to showcase himself a little bit. So hopefully this will kickstart it. But
so he ended up signing for Club Tijuana, even though everyone thought he was going to sign for the MLS, us included. But it's a risk. Obviously, it's not the safe move, but I think that could be a good thing. I think he still is trying to challenge himself, which
I think he has the right mindset.
Yeah, he does have the right mindset, I think, about the move, but, it might not be the time in his career for a big challenge that Club Tijuana could be.
That's a good point.
I'm not saying it's a huge challenge, but it's definitely a bigger leap of faith than going to an MLS team. So we'll see, what his move does. Hopefully he gets playing time soon here with Club Tijuana. Obviously they're, I think it's Clausura. The Apertura was in the fall, so the Clausura just started recently, so hopefully he can get integrated with that squad. Obviously he had a good month or so of practice in January, so hopefully get him up to speed conditioning-wise, and hopefully, he can show Club Tijuana how good of a player he is in practice and get on the field.
It'd be exciting to get some minutes in, a pretty high-quality league, and maybe that'll propel him back to
pretty good. Hopefully. But I think if he stays in Mexico even for a year or two, just gets his feet, back over on this side of the world, I guess you could say, the continent.
The continent, yes.
That would be good for him. Anything to jumpstart his career again.
And now, heading into our final segment, Quick Kicks.
So you could test Dwayne Miller. It's Altidore over the wall, and that one is in! Josie Altidore from a long way out. The opening goal for the United States.
So kind of like we said last week, Quick Kicks will be our final segment to end each show, and we'll basically touch on a few player performances this past week in kind of less detail than some of the other players we talked about this week. So the first player we want to touch on is Christian Pulisic. So Christian Pulisic played in Dortmund's 3-2 win over Cologne this weekend and actually had an assist on Dortmund's second goal to Michy Batshuayi.
The Chelsea guy, yeah.
Yeah, the new boy. So it was a nice little assist. He fended off a defender and poked the ball forward to Michy, who ended up finishing that chance and scored the second goal, kind of like I said. And he looked dangerous all game, Pulisic did. So it was just another pretty solid performance from him.
Good to hear. And now moving on to Conrad de la Fuente, Barcelona Academy, playing in Juvenil B there. Had a good 7-0 win against a team we don't really know.
Yeah, it was like JMG or something. You couldn't even find.
But nonetheless, he had a great huge impact, 2 goals and 3 assists. And we watched some of the highlights there, and he looked pretty threatening in 1v1 situations out there in the wing, cutting in. Making some good runs and passes and a few, obviously some goals and assists there, but it's exciting to see. He's a Spanish American as well, and he's actually, invited to the U18 camp. It's coming up, so they'll be exciting in Orlando to see what he can do there.
On that squad
some really good quality players. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see a mix of, the MLS Academy players and then some of these, dual citizens. So it'll be exciting to see.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe down below or leave a comment in the comment section. We'd love to engage with you guys and talk about players that we touched on in this episode. And
and make sure to share with your friends, your family, everybody that likes American soccer out there and wants to see us talk about really promising and good players there. So
that's it from us. Yeah. Hey, maybe one day the Americans.
What is it? One day
we'll win the World Cup. One day, we can hope.
Young Americans abroad.
That's right.